Daily God's Promise. Day 6. September 6, 2025. Welcome, beloved friends, to Daily God's Promise. Day 6 inches today. We embrace a profound and tender promise from Psalm chapter 103 verse 13. As a father pities his children, so the Lord pities those who fear him. This beautiful psalm praises God for all his benefits, but in this specific verse, the psalmist captures God's compassionate heart using one of the most intimate human relationships. This is a promise of God's deep, paternal love for his children. 1. A tender pity. Like a father's love, the promise begins with a beautiful comparison. As a father pities his children. The word pities in Hebrew is racham, which speaks of a deep, visceral, and tender compassion. It's the kind of love that a father feels for a child who is hurt, weak, or in need. This promise assures us that God's love is not distant or cold but is as warm, protective, and tender as the most loving human father. 2. A love for those who fear him. God's compassion is directed at a specific group. Those who fear him. The fear of the Lord here is not a terror of him, but a reverential awe and respect for his holiness, power, and goodness. This promise is for those who honor God, who put him first in their lives, and who seek to live in obedience to his will. When we submit ourselves to him in reverence, we open our hearts to the fullness of his grace and pity. 3. A promise for every struggle. Just as a father feels pity for his struggling child, God's compassion is for us in our moments of weakness. This promise reminds us that God looks at our failures, our pain, our sickness, and our brokenness not with disgust, but with a tender heart. His pity is a source of grace and mercy that is available in every situation, a balm for our shame and a comfort for our sorrow. 4. A promise that transforms our view of God in a world that can give us a distorted view of God as an angry judge or a distant authority figure. This verse is a divine revelation of his true character. It invites us to heal from any father wounds we may carry and to embrace God as our perfect, compassionate Father. His love is not conditional on our performance, it is an outpouring of his nature. 5. Old Testament cross-references. God's fatherly care has always sustained his people, as in Deuteronomy chapter 1 verse 31. The Lord your God carried you, as a man carries his son. Israel saw God not only as king but also as father, as in Isaiah chapter 63 verse 16. You, O Lord, are our Father, our Redeemer. God's fatherhood extends especially to the vulnerable, as in Psalm chapter 68 verse 5. A father of the fatherless, a defender of widows. 6. New Testament cross-references. Jesus taught us to pray with intimacy, addressing God as Father, as in Matthew chapter 6 verse 9. Our Father in heaven. God's compassion moves him toward his children even when they fail. As in Luke chapter 15 verse 20, the father ran to embrace the prodigal son. God's fatherly compassion is the source of all comfort, as in 2 Corinthians chapter 1 verse 3. The Father of mercies and God of all comfort. 7. Living in his pity today. If you are struggling with a sense of unworthiness or are feeling alone, remember this promise. The Lord your God has a compassionate heart for you. Stop hiding your weakness and instead, come to him with a reverent heart. Trust that as a loving father, he has a tender pity for you, and his mercy is new every morning. God bless you and give you grace after grace.